looks like he sat down back there.
I don't know anything. I don't know anything. You guys say,
I know nothing, I see nothing.
I don't know. He's asking.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
All right. I am Jamie Green. I'm the first assistant chief. I was the incident commander on scene. This is Tucker Best. He is the director of communications. He was our dispatcher on today, taking the call. This is police chief PJ Owens, and this is the director of EMS and Northshire Rescue.
Please spell and name on you, please.
My name is Jamie, Jamie, Green, Greene. So at approximately 8:33 a.m., the Manchester Communication Center received an E911 call reporting an airplane crash on the side of Mount Equinox near the summit in the town of Manchester. It was reported that 3 individuals involved had non-life-threatening injuries. Manchester Police, Fire, and Northshire EMS were dispatched to West Union Street at the base of Mount Equinox. Manchester Fire initiated a first alarm, prompting additional fire units to respond from Arlington, Dorset, East Dorset, Winhall, and Pollitt Fire Departments. A request was immediately made to the New York State Police Aviation Unit and New York State Rangers for a helicopter with a winch. A medevac helicopter from Dartmouth Hitchcock was also requested. Winhall Police Department and the Bennington County Sheriff's Department responded to the scene, each providing a dispatcher to assist at the Manchester Communication Center. Vermont Fish and Wildlife and Vermont State Police also assisted on the scene. Rescue crews faced extremely difficult conditions navigating through snow up to 4 feet deep near the top of the mountain. Crews attempted access via Skyline Drive, which is unmaintained in winter, while others approached from the West Union Street in Manchester. At approximately 10:16 a.m., rescuers located the crash site. New York State Police Aviation then identified the scene and lowered rangers to assess the individuals. Using their winch system, New York State Police Aviation successfully lifted all 3 subjects from the hillside and transported them to the Manchester Public Safety Facility. In total, 3 individuals were rescued with non-life-threatening injuries. 1 patient was subsequently airlifted to Albany Medical Center for further evaluation. We also extend our thanks to the Vermont State Police and Vermont Fish and Wildlife for their assistance on scene. On behalf of the Manchester Police Department, Manchester Fire Department, and Northshire Rescue Squad, we extend our heartfelt gratitude to the greater Northshire community for their invaluable assistance. Your support, whether through providing snowshoes, snowmobiles, or food, played a crucial role in ensuring a successful rescue operation. Thank you for your generosity and unwavering support. Any questions?
The FAA is reporting that the crash occurred around 3:50 a.m. Can you confirm if there is any information on the time of the crash and what happened between?
No, we can confirm that the 911 call came in at 8:33.
What do you know about the flight plan of the aircraft?
Well, I have no clue of what the flight plan was. We did not speak. I didn't speak to the pilot.
Okay. Were you up on scene at all?
I was on scene, but I was down at the road running
You
incident.
have visual on the aircraft?
No.
Okay.
No,
Do you know what the condition of the plane was?
I'm not sure. I wasn't up there.
Talk about how bad it was getting crews up there.
So that played a crucial role. I mean, once you got about halfway up the mountain, they were in 4 feet deep of snow. They got to a point where they had to get off the main trail that goes up around, and literally it was waist deep in snow, so we had to revert back to snowshoes. It was very rugged terrain, but our guys pushed through and was able to finally contact them.
What contact have you guys had with the NTSB or the FAA to kind of figure out when their investigation's taking over?
So I've been in contact with both of them today. They're supposed to be here on Friday.
Were the passengers all with the airplane, just casual, calm, or were they?
Yes.
How was it?
Yes.
Talk about that.
I can't say because I was not up there.
Okay.
I know they were fine.
Who called 911? Did they call 911?
The pilot called 911.
Do we have any kind of idea on the cause of this crash this time?
At this time, no.
Are you IDing the passengers or pilot or anything at this time?
Not at this time. I don't have the names.
How important is mutual aid, like, in a situation like this, especially in New York, right there with the helicopter?
At this point, it's very crucial, and timing, number one, the terrain we had to deal with, number two. I mean, we have one of the best dispatchers in the state of Vermont. If it wasn't for his quick thinking, we wouldn't have the people, the manpower that we needed to do this scene. We wouldn't have that right away.
I know that Manchester Dispatch has used the app, What Three Words, previously. Was that used in this rescue as well?
No, it was not.
What was the nature of the injuries sustained?
I do not know that at this time.
Has Manchester Safety ever had to deal with a situation like this before?
Back many, many years ago when there was a plane crash up there.
Can you please tell us a little bit about that?
I wasn't around.
Can you describe how far from the road, from entrance to the road and up vertically the cresting was?
So the only thing I can tell you is they were roughly around 3,200 feet elevation.
Can you speak about the impact of weather conditions on the response, outside of the snow, but also cloud cover and wind conditions?
So up above the plane crash, there was a lot of fog up there. At the time I got on scene, the fog was kind of halfway down the mountain through the progress that we were trying to do. It did lift up a little bit, which actually was helped in rescue mission. There was no snow, no rain, so that helped. It was cold, which hindered, some of our guys getting in there, but the fog had lifted once we were ready to rescue them.
Can you talk about how the rescue operation operated? They lowered the baskets?
So basically, they flew in, we gave them the GPS coordinates roughly of where we were. They were able to fly over. It was a lot of tree cover, so it was hard to find us on the ground. They were able to fly over using communication from the ground from our radios that we have. We were able to have contact with the aircraft, which then in return they were able to finally find us. They did an assessment from the air, which in return they dropped 2 Rangers out of their basket down on the ground so they could help assess with the patient care as far as that, and then we made a game plan moving forward how to get them out of there.
And how was it? You lifted them from the ground in a basket up?
Correct. So they basically lowered the basket down, they put a patient in, they get them all strapped in so they're safely secure, and they pull them up by a rope, they pull them into the helicopter, and they dropped it, and they did that 3 times to get all 3 patients out.
What was the kind of organizational and communication like for you guys working with so many different departments? Who kind of took charge, and what was kind of the
So I obviously was the incident commander. We did stay on our dispatch channel because that's the best communication that we have. Everyone was very good about communicating. Frequent updates, let me know like when they got to the people, how far up they were, what they were dealing with. I mean, there was a lot of good communication. Specific times, the aircraft that we were talking to said it was one of the best communication aspects that they dealt with.
Given the nature of this crash, how fortunate is it that it was, non-life-threatening injuries to all of them? And I guess, what kind of factors may have led to being non-life-threatening?
There was a lot of factors. I mean, obviously the snow helped cushion the fall. He was able to guide, from what I could tell, he was able to guide through a couple of trees just perfectly. And the way that the fuselage went in, the snow really helped cushion everything.
So without that snow, different result?
It could have been, absolutely.
Chopper, 1 trip for 3 people or 3 people?
So New York State actually brought 2 helicopters, one that did all the hoisting and lifting, and then another one as a person to oversee and watch and make sure, there's nothing would happen.
They lifted all 3 at the same time, one after another, same helicopter?
Nope, same helicopter lifted all 3 of them out. And brought them
one time?
At one time. So they lifted one up, dropped the basket back down, lifted the second patient up, dropped it back down, lifted the 3rd patient up. Once they had all 3 secure in the helicopter, they then brought them back to the public safety facility where we had 2 Dartmouth helicopters standing by in case we needed to airlift more than one. One did get airlifted out of here. The other 2 were ground transport to local hospital.
ABC News reported that the aircraft type was a Piper PH-28. Is that something you can confirm at this time?
I cannot confirm that.
What local resources will be dedicated to the recovery effort for the plane or the investigation?
That I don't know. That's up to the FAA at this point, what they want to do. I know I have to meet them Friday and bring them up there so they can check the site.
Will local resources or individuals be available to assist?
We will have some local resources to help get them up there.
How difficult will it be to get the oil planes down? Is that be your job or you have to?
No, that's not our job. That's up to the FAA and who they, sometimes they decide to leave them, sometimes they decide to pull them out. I don't know that.
When can we expect that plane to be removed from that side of the crash? I mean,
I can't tell you that. I don't have that information.
With first responders being staged near a trailhead as part of this rescue, were there any people out hiking near the crash site at all?
So there was one person, when I got on scene, there was one person coming out. He did say he heard an airplane. He could not see it. I'm assuming it was in the fog. And he said he heard it, and then he didn't hear it. And he thought he heard a loud noise, but he wasn't sure.
what are the next steps that you guys are taking in this incident?
Basically, at this point, we will sit down and talk about the whole situation and what we can do to train better, to help assist us, getting there quicker, those kinds of things. There isn't much you can do in a situation like this, but obviously training on how to get up a mountain in 4 foot of snow is the hardest part. Because we didn't have snowshoes at the time, and a local person in the local community actually lent us some snowshoes, which helped.
I know you couldn't share before kind of the nature of the cause of the crash. Do you guys have an idea, just you guys, about what may have caused it?
It's hard to say. It's hard to say.
Is pilot speaking a second thing, or is he just recuperating right now?
They're all awake. They're all aware. Well awake. As far as the nature of their injuries, I don't know that.
But are they, talking with FAA now, or?
That I don't know.
Okay.
That I don't know.
What steps are being taken kind of to figure out and identify the cause of the crash? And I guess when should the public be expecting to learn more about that?
So I wouldn't know more until the FAA came here. I mean, that's their decision. They have to look at the whole thing, and then they'll decide what they say happened, what didn't happen.
So there was 3 passengers who were injured. What was the total amount of passengers, or was that the total amount?
That was the total amount of passengers.
Including the pilot?
Yes. There was only 3 on board.
3 souls.
Yep.
You mentioned the FAA is arriving on Friday with other authorities. What will be happening in the meantime on Thursday and for the rest of today? Will there be any action?
No, at this point, they're basically, because of inclement weather tomorrow, they wanted to come tomorrow, but they can't because of inclement weather, so they'll be here Friday morning.
Coming from Portland or DC?
Portland. The NGCB is from Washington, D.C. The FAA is coming from Portland.
Was it Matthew Hawley you're in contact with?
I don't remember his name. I talked to so many people.
I bet you did.
Any estimation on how many people responded to the crash?
I don't know the exact number, but I'm going to say roughly 100 probably.
And we want to contact you for further information, any more questions tonight or whatever. Is that a telephone number we can reach you at?
Yes. You can contact me at 802-491-9566. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
I have some copies of that.
You didn't say my name, Jamie. You didn't say my name.
I didn't?
Thanks a lot.
So, Mr. President,